Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Silver Star interview series. And today we have yet another Silver Star with us. We have Pratibha Verma. Now, before I go to Pratibha, let me quickly give you a gist about what these interviews are, what this interview series is. In our corporate success community, we have multiple levels of recognition. And in the Silver membership, one of the topmost recognition is becoming a Silver Star. And in order to be a Silver Star, there are certain levels that you need to clear. There are certain things that you need to achieve, and then you reach there. So, having said that, if you see someone here with me in this interview series, that only and only means that person deserves it. That person has actually worked towards earning this title. And that's the reason I'm really very proud and happy to have the members here. So, without any further ado, let's quickly jump to Pratibha. Pratibha, extremely happy, extremely excited, humbled, and really proud of you to have you here. Yeah.
Yeah, same goes for you, Alok. I feel that joining your course was a blessing for me because my life has completely transformed, right? From being an overthinker to a conscious thinker, right? So, yeah, it's a blessing, I would say.
Fantastic, fantastic. Um, to begin with, Pratibha,
Mhm.
I'd like to go back in time, and so that whosoever watches this interview, they get a context where we started and where we are in terms of transformation, in terms of any kind of change or progress that we are looking at. uh, to begin with, what made you opt for this kind of journey? Why are you here? What made you come here?
So before joining this course, I would say I was very anxious person because I was facing health issues. I was not able to digest even simple amount of food, right, the home cooked food as well. And I had visited multiple doctors and they were treating my physical symptoms, but somehow I was feeling that it's not the right kind of treatment which I was getting. And I had visited multiple doctors and I was so frustrated with my health issues. And suddenly I realized that it's not at the physical level, but it's at the mental level for which I need the right kind of treatment. So
Mm.
I had also attended the psychologist sessions as well, but what I felt was that I was sharing what my feelings are, but I was not taking correct kind of actions to become better version of myself. So at the time of when I was scrolling through social media, I saw your ad,
Mm.
and then I attended one of your live sessions at which you come at Monday 9 p.m. and you gave answers to certain questions. At that time, when you gave those answers, it somehow clicked that you're the right kind of person who can
Mm.
give me right kind of a direction, and all your answers were so practical, and it was not a spiritual gyan which we normally get, right, when we watch such videos. So
Yes.
at that point of time I realized that I could give it a try, and I could just attend a master class. And after attending that master class, it was like a hope given to me that I can break that vicious circle of getting anxiety, getting those health issues, because my doctor used to say that if you will continue to have those negativity in your life, then you will not come out of this vicious
Mhm.
cycle of health
Mhm.
issues, right? So I was not knowing how to come out of it. But when I attended the master class, I think I almost got all my answers, and
Mhm.
I somehow managed. And I got the hope that yeah, I can handle this on my own. I don't need multiple doctors or multiple people. I used to think that this problem of mine has to be solved out from outside, but later when I attended the class, I realized that it's within me, and I have the power to heal myself because of all the health issues which I faced.
I understand. And Pratibha, what I presume is that you connected with a lot of doctors. So were you also on medication that time?
Yes, I was taking because I was not able to sleep at night. I used to get
Mm,
very negative thoughts, especially
mm,
during night time.
mm,
So I was taking anxiety medicines to sleep, and I was also taking the medication for my digestive system. Also, sometimes I used to have back pain, neck pain,
mm.
headaches. So for every symptom of my body, I used to take separate medicine because I thought that's the only cure, right? But when I had one-on-one session with you, you made me realize that it's not about taking medicine. It's about you can just realize that you can just release your emotions or release your stress via doing that 5 to 8
Yeah,
breathing exercises. And then I gave it a try, and then I realized that I don't need those medicines now, and I have like literally thrown away those medicines from my room because I feel they give negative energy. So those medicines are replaced with books
ah,
or with my
yeah.
journal, with my diary. So yeah, I think that's a big transformation for me.
That's lovely. That's lovely. See, the thing is, I understand um, medications are useful for it. It gives you like a quick start, or maybe, if it has become very chronic when you're not able to, look out for things. So medication can give you that push. So on a temporary basis, it's fine. It's useful. But on a permanent basis, on for a long-term period, of course, they are not. They're not a good option. But I'd just like to know from you, Pratibha, what kind of symptoms did you notice, if any, while you were on medication? Were there any kind of that impact that you were able to notice in your day-to-day routine?
Yeah. So when I was taking those medications, right, I had like a lot of side effects. So I had loss of appetite when I was taking those medications. I was not like enjoying the food which I was eating, because of which
Mm.
I had lost around 8 kgs of weight. So I am like a lot of people are on the mission to lose weight, but for me, I had lost weight without my own will, right?
Yeah.
And I was not understanding that
Mm.
how to get out of it, because somehow those medications were giving me certain side effects, and a doctor already informed me that these are the side effects you will have, and for rectifying that they will give you some supplements, but I don't
Mm.
believe that those supplements will work out for you. So those were the things. And also I faced some digestive issues because of that anxiety medication also. I was
Mm.
facing digestive issues, and that's the reason why the doctor kept on changing those medicines, because I used to tell him that this not suiting my body, and then they used to change. So I had changed my anxiety medicines 7 to 8 times, and I was so frustrated
I
that
understand. Mm.
why that medicine is not working for my body. I
Mm.
used to somehow go in self doubt that, right, why my body is not accepting. But I, at this
Is there
point of
some
time,
problem with me?
yeah, so
Yeah.
at this point of time I realized that I'm glad that my body did not accept those medications,
Yeah.
because I would not have chosen this way of healing myself.
Oh, lovely, lovely. First of all, I'm so very glad to know that you are out of that vicious cycle of medicines, because ultimately then it's a never ending cycle. If this is not working, then there's a tweak, then you go on to something else, and there's a side effect, so to nullify the side effect you go on to something else. So it is like a never ending cycle. But then you end up sacrificing your health, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if I have to ask you, Pratibha, that what are those two breakthroughs, if we have to call them as breakthroughs, certain things that you were really struggling with, or something that was occupying your mental and emotional space a lot, but now over a period of few months, or the time you have been in this space, in this community, following things, what have you successfully overcome, or you are at least able to see yourself in that path of overcoming it?
Okay. So breakthroughs, I would say that I was in a lot of self doubt and in victim mood, because I always used to ask myself that why am I suffering? Like I have not done anything bad, or I have not, I used to question myself that why is this pain coming in my life? Because
Mm.
I'm trying all the ways out, but I had very limited beliefs that when you are in a limited circle, you think only these are your solutions, right? Only doctor can heal you, but that's not the reality, right? So
Mm.
I had very limited beliefs, and I had a lot of self doubt within myself, and I had accepted the pain, and I was playing the victim mode where I was doubting that I would not be able to reach the goals which I am planning for. So
Mm.
uh, these were my breakthroughs, and also I was not having a good quality sleep. I would say I used to get very tired easily. So
Mm.
in the afternoon time, like whenever I'm working, right, I used to feel so tired, and I used to get very much irritated, frustrated because of the less hours of sleep. And sometimes taking those medicines also doesn't help me in providing good quality sleep, right? So that's the point where I realized that I need to take some self responsibility, and I need to do something on my own. Nobody will come and give some
Mm.
magic hack that this is it and you will get
Yes.
completely. So these were my breakthroughs before joining the
Fantastic.
course.
Fantastic. I realize that there are so many people who are not ready to and who are not willing to take the responsibility of whatever they are suffering. It can be, in your case, it is about health. It was about health. But for so many people out there, it is about their finances. It can be about their relationship. It can be about their job or business or any aspect of their life, right? Their growth, their progress. And when they're not able to see progress, they start comparing themselves with others. And that's where they start getting into a self sabotage mode. And also, there is this self doubt. And then we get into a cycle of blame. We start blaming things, we start blaming people, we start blaming situations, we start blaming our fate, God as well. Right? So, what I understand after listening to you is that when you take responsibility and when you start taking action on it, automatically you start seeing results, right? So, what is it that you would like to tell people who are stuck in that cycle of self blame or self sabotage?
Yeah. So initially, I was also struggling with this thing where whenever I used to try something new, like trying some exercise, try some meditation, I always used to focus on the outcome. And I always had this habit of instantly getting the results. And when I didn't get those results, I used to feel very frustrated, and I used to have very high expectation from my own self that,
Hmm.
I'm doing my exercises, I'm doing my meditation, but it's not happening as per my expectation. So then I realized that I need to change my focus from outcome to the process, because result is something which I cannot control, and
Hmm.
our process is something which I have the control on.
Hmm.
So my mind shifts change from being consistent on what efforts I can put, and at the end of the day I should know, I should be satisfied with all what I have done. So I changed my perspective from being result oriented to process oriented. And that's how I made consistency in following the good habits, like good exercise, good any kind of things which you do for your own self, like doing meditation or 5 to 8 breathing. So I did not expect immediate results. I told my mind that this is not the instant gratification thing which will happen. You will achieve it, but yeah, you will have to give time to it. And I at this point of time, I would say that even those things took time, but they have long term uh, effects on my body. So
Yes.
yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love that two-step process. So, this is for everyone who is listening. What I just extracted out of what Pratibha says, that number one is focus on the process and not the results, because yes, I do realize that, Pratibha, there are so many people out there. For example, let's say in terms of their health, they want to get fit, they want to lose weight, or maybe they want to achieve this kind of success or progress, or maybe this kind of a job or this kind of a package, this kind of a person in their life as a partner, and they only stay focused on the result. And if they don't get the result, they get disheartened and they also think of giving up. not putting in efforts. But when you start focusing on the process, what kind of tweaks that you can bring in the process? If this process is not working for you, what different thing I can do? And that can really help you to move closer to your goals. So fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Focus on the be process oriented, not result oriented, because result is merely an outcome of the process. And number two is no instant gratification. I love that. Yes, patience is the key. Patience is the key. Thank you very much for that, Pratibha. Um, so I'd like to ask you that, how do you see mindfulness? And how would you define it in your own language so that people who are new to this concept, they can understand from you?
Okay. So I would say mindfulness is something which helps you realize the importance of being present. We always tend to think about past or future. I think Alok had also mentioned that 64% of the times we are living in past or future, and that's the ultimate truth. But with the help of mindfulness, you can enjoy your present moment, and you can achieve so much clarity and awareness of your thoughts, of your feelings, and how you can change those feelings. That is also under your control. Nobody will come and make your mood better or make you feel better, right? Because everybody has their own challenges in their life, and they won't even bother about how to make you feel better, right? So I think mindfulness helps you uh, give a lot of amount of clarity, patience, and also making realize that how you are your own healer, how you are own psychologist in terms of healing and in terms of overcoming your challenges.
Super awesome. Super awesome. You can be your own psychologist. Yes. And awareness is the key. So, Pratibha, uh, if I were to ask you that, if you see Pratibha few months back or an year back, and today you see this Pratibha, then what is the difference you see?
Well, I would say 100% transformation has happened, because whenever a challenge used to happen,
Mm.
I used to get very anxious. I used to cry also sometimes. Because at that moment of time, I couldn't see any solution, and I always used to tell my mind, "Oh, this has happened. Now, how will I come out of it?" And I used to say, "Oh, I cannot deal with this." I already had told my mind that I cannot deal with this. But
Uh,
now I realize that whenever a challenge comes up, I immediately do 5:8 breathing, because I know a calm mind can only give me answers. A calm mind can only give me better decision making, right?
mm,
So
mm,
initially, I used to face a bit of difficulty in realizing that I have to do deep breathing. But now, practicing it on regular intervals, now if any challenge comes up, if like I have got any extra work from my office, or if unexpected situation comes up, I immediately do 5:8 breathing. I try to give myself some time and then take decision, or then respond, so that I know what I am saying to that person, or what
mm,
how can I handle this situation better. So I would say I have become more calm and more person who responds after consciously thinking of its consequences, or uh, I just try to think about myself as a better version, and then analyze that how can better Pratibha respond to this situation. And
mm,
if I have not if suppose I feel that I have not reacted or I have not responded in a right way, I make note of it. I make a note of that situation, and then I try to make how could I have reacted to this situation in a better way.
mm,
So next time I'm well prepared, that
yeah.
oh, this is the situation, whenever the situation will come up, I will respond in this way. So that
Super
has
awesome. Yeah.
helped me. Yeah.
That's really awesome. That's really awesome because when you fumble once and then you
Mhm.
analyze and evaluate that what could I have done better. So now
Right.
you're prepared in terms of a similar thing, happens again. So Pratibha, what kind of changes have you noticed in various aspects of your life? Like, you know, if you see that, yes, you have bettered up by 10%, 20%, 50%, or 100%. So, do you see that people around you are noticing those changes, maybe in your family or in your office and your friends or stuff?
Yeah. So since the time I've joined the course, my family is also aware of it, and they
Ah,
are also following you. And
okay.
I share all of my learnings with them, and they have also seen a major transformation. And they, like my parents, especially feel proud, and they also feel when I had told them that my interview is coming up, they felt
Yeah.
so emotional, and my father was literally crying that I had seen you where you have come from, like the pain, and I could not see that pain, and they also knew about my journey, right? So seeing that transformation, they were so proud of me, and now they say that you have become coach of our family. They have given me that much confidence that now, instead of Pratibha coming and just complaining about her problems, she comes to give solutions.
Ah,
So that's something which I feel nice about myself, that I don't want to become a person who just keeps on complaining about my health issues. I want to be someone whom I can help out, and also share solutions. So if any of my family members are dealing with their issues, I try to calm themselves, and now I have that confidence that I will be able to help them out, because I know how I came out of my own issues.
and I'm sure that that feels great, no?
Yes,
That feels
yes,
amazing. When you see your loved ones and your near ones, your dear ones, becoming very proud and happy about you, that
yes,
puts you on a different pedestal altogether.
yes.
Yes.
They were not happy that they were not happy at that time when I was earning this amount of package or this amount of position, but they were happy seeing the growth in terms of
Um,
my mental health and emotional health, which I received
yeah,
from
see,
the
ultimately, of
course.
course, Pratibha, because all that external, see, the external materialistic things and stuff, whatever you earn, whatever you get, that will give you external comfort.
Right,
But when you are able to be happy, that gives you internal comfort, right? And what your loved ones, your near ones and dear ones want for you is primarily the internal comfort and then the external comfort.
right,
Yes.
right.
So super awesome, very nice. So Pratibha, tell me, if I have to ask you that, all the courses and everything,
Mhm,
including the ICMM, of course, in ICMM, the weekly meets that we do, there are a lot of things that we explore. But if I had to ask you, what are the top two or three strategies or techniques or tools that are really kind of a life savior, if you would like to call or term it as?
mhm.
What are they? I'm curious to know.
Okay, so my anxiety used to increase when I used to get some amount of deadlines at work or some kind of pressure at work. So at that point of time, when I was going through your courses, there is a particular course where you talk about the action items when you face those deadlines, right? You have to, first of all, you have to start with task journaling. So
Ah,
that is something which I did. I had to prioritize my task. What is urgent and most important? What is urgent and less important? So that's how I started off with task journaling, and then what you need to also delegate your task. If you feel that you cannot take all of the things in your plate, you need to learn how to delegate your task, and also you need to provide what was feasible or what is not feasible and communicate to your leader.
yeah.
That is most important. We sometimes tend to fear that the manager will say something, but I feel that you need to tell them that this is not feasible, and this is the timeline which you have given is something uh, which will not provide quality work, right?
Mm.
So this is something which I had also implemented. And secondly, the stress proof mindset framework, right? That is a very generalized solution for every challenge which you face in your life. You need to, first of all, check what you're feeling. Like if you have an interaction with someone, or if you have faced any challenge, what is exactly what you're feeling? You need to
Mm.
know that particular emotion, and then you need to instantly focus on the controllables instead of
Mm, mm,
uncontrollables. And that's the mistake which I did. I used to get frustrated with my uncontrollable
mm.
parameters, that
Yes.
why is it not happening this way? I am trying my best, and why is it happening? Why does this happen? And things like that, right?
Yeah.
So we need to learn to let go of those uncontrollable parameters, which I'm still learning. I'm
Yes.
still learning to let go of people behaviors towards me, or any kind of situation which I had not anticipated. Focus on controllables, and then you need to again, you need to focus on the positive sides, right?
Yes.
So as a normal human being, our normal instinct is that we always focus on the negative side of that particular
Mm,
situation. But then right now also, I try to do this conscious effort. It takes, I think, a lot of patience and a lot of time to think about the positive side of that particular challenge, because at that time you are so much irritated and frustrated.
yes.
But then you then if you have to take care of your own happiness, you need to learn how to focus on the positive side. So I
Mm,
have started developing the habit of changing my focus from the glass half empty to the glass half full. And that's how I let go of the certain situations, or the certain kind of a behavior which people do in my life. I try to ignore their negative aspects, and try to uh, try to shift my focus from to their positive side, that okay, no, nobody is perfect. And
yeah.
I try to understand their situation as well, that why is that person behaving in that certain way.
Super awesome. Super. I was actually making notes while you were saying this. And
Okay.
just to sum it up, everyone who is listening to this, watching this. So, number one, task journaling. Very, very, very useful. And by task journaling, what Pratibha means that before going to sleep, just make sure that you write down everything, all the things, the important ones that you need to do the next morning, the next day, so that if it is in sight, it's in mind, so it's in front of you, then you will not miss it. Number two, Pratibha spoke about delegation, which is very important. See, the thing is, we have very limited resource in terms of time and energy, right? And you have so many things to do. So whatever is that you can delegate to the right people, do that, because then you will get time to do so much more. So delegation is important. Number three, what Pratibha focused on is having an open communication, right, Pratibha? Open communication, have a
Yes.
transparent communication with your manager, because many a times we overthink. What will they think about me if I say this? How will they perceive me? Just communicate. Yes, have an open communication. This is possible, this is not possible, giving the timeline, given the bandwidth, given the resources, this is possible. Otherwise, then maybe the outcome might be compromised. And she also spoke about focusing on the controllables. Pratibha, very, very important. Yes, many a times we end up focusing on our non-controllables, and that will only and only make us miserable. Super awesome, Pratibha. Fantastic takeaways. And then at last, managing the focus. Our focus defines our feelings. So when you focus on the good, you start feeling good. So super awesome, Pratibha. Thank you very much for sharing these valuable tips with our viewers. And I just want to ask you one more question. And this is the viewer specific. I'm sure there are so many working professionals just like yourself going through a lot of stressors. Maybe they have some health related anxiety, or maybe they are overthinkers, or maybe they also get into this cycle of self sabotage, or they start doubting themselves about their potential. As an achiever, as a person who has already been through this and now has found a new way, if you have to guide them by giving maybe top one advice or two advice or three advice, I leave that on you. Okay, what would be that guiding advice?
Okay. So I would say that first of all, you need to take care of your mind first before taking care of your career or your family, right? Because unless and until you are mentally and emotionally aware, then only you would be able to take care of work responsibilities of or your family responsibilities. So you can take care of your mental and emotional health by doing 5 is to 8 breathing, deep breathing at regular intervals, because that breathing helps you to come out of that fight or flight mode.
How often
It
you do that? You can also say, you can also share that. How often you do that, and when,
I
what time?
okay, I do it 4 times in a day. I do it first thing in the morning, then after having my lunch in the afternoon, then in evening, and then before going to the sleep. So
Oh, great.
I try to do it 4 times, and if there is increased level of anxiety, I increase my 5 is to 8 breathing,
The frequencies.
how depending upon the frequency, right? And yeah, it helps to give break during work, right? When you are so much stressed out, you don't realize the amount of time you're spending and the kind of frustration you are getting inside your body. So I have maintained a certain routine that no matter how much work I'll get or how much pressure I have to make sure that I have to give my health the priority, because
Yes.
I have experienced that burnout, right? Where I have taken pressure on myself and I've compromised on my health. So I have kept certain small notes across my workspace where it shows me my priority list. So my priority list is myself, my family, and my work. So that note keeps me realizing, keeps me aware of, okay, Pratibha, you need to take care of yourself. So that is something which helps me to take deep breathing exercises at regular intervals. Secondly, I would say do journaling. Every day I do journaling, no matter how much tired I am, or even if I write 2 sentences, I have to do it for my inner peace and for my own contentment. So I in the class you mentioned about different types of journaling,
Yeah.
right? So I had kept a journal diary where I categorized it into CBT, gratitude, vision, and small wins.
Lovely.
And I try to do a different kind of journaling every day. And depending upon my emotions, if there are negative emotions, I try to take that CBT journal and
Mm.
try to check if I'm feeling those negative emotions, how can I like reframing those thoughts, right? And also if I felt very happy for at a particular day, I look into those small wins journal and start jotting those points that okay, what I'm proud of about today. So those are like journaling is very important to give you more clarity, and the clutter which you have in your mind goes out on the paper and makes you realize
Mm.
that what are your imaginations which are happening in your mind, and these
Yeah.
are not the actual thing which is happening. So journaling is very important. 5 is to 8 breathing. And lastly, I would say you need to self reflect. We all,
Yes.
so majority of the times we are just trying to consume the positive videos, the positive books, right? And a lot of time we see that, oh, we are reading and we are getting those positivity, but that happens on a temporary level.
Yes.
But it's very important that what you have learned, you need to revise and implement it in your daily routine, because
Mm.
that is the practice you need to take and come out of your comfort zone, that okay, we can just listen to the positive video and we will get that motivation.
Yeah.
You will get that motivation only on temporary basis,
Yes.
but you have to implement more and learn less. I would say that implementation is the key for making that positive impact that particular book or that particular person has told you, right? So whenever I'm reading a book, or whenever I am attending the course, I make notes and I try to revise it. Like if it is first time I have listened to it or I've first time read it, I will revise it after 2 3 hours, and then I will do that after 2 3 days. And
Mm.
that's how I know that how will this particular piece of advice will help me
Help
in
me.
making a better version. Yeah.
Super awesome. Those were like some handy, executionable, actionable tips
Yeah.
and advice. Fantastic,
Yeah.
Pratibha. So here we come to the end of this conversation. This really practical executionable quality stuff from Pratibha. Thank you very much, Pratibha, for adding so much of value. And once again, a big round of applause to you. And really proud that you have reached here with all the efforts. And I see you being consistent. I see you being there every Sunday in the Inner Circle Masterminds. And I wish you a lot of luck. This is just the beginning. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alok. I think this would not have been possible without your support, and without you, I would not have become the person which I am today, right? So I feel that that the universe is working out for you and not against you. And some people enter your life to give you like a helping hand, or to give you some support, and that's what I got. And this I'll be consistent no matter what. I will continue to attend those ICMM learnings, because that's a recharge station.
Yes.
That's where I get so many answers to what people ask, right? We feel that the situation is happening to us, but no, that doesn't happen. And your answers are so efficient and so practical, that I feel that I don't need to look upon any other person, right? So I just have to follow what you say.
Thank you. I'm really humbled. Thank you for your kind words, Pratibha. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Pratibha Verma for you. And similarly, in the next interview, we'll have one more silver star with us. Till then, stay strong, stay mindful, and I hope you took notes. If you haven't, you can re-watch this and take notes from what Pratibha said and the way she guided all of us. So, take care. Have a lovely day. God bless you. Thank you. Bye.